The action role-playing video game Mass Effect 3 is such an awesome experience. Sure, the ending makes no sense when you really look at it at a trilogy standpoint, but despite that minor flaw, this is still one of the best video games that has ever been made. Man, I remember having so much fun with this one over the years. So, taking place after the events of the previous installment, John Shepard must now recruit outside forces in order to stop not only the Reaper invasion that has happened on Earth, but across the galaxy as well. You know, when I had first heard about this game, I was interested. I didn't check it out right away. I probably played it like 2 years later. And the ironic thing is, this was the first Mass Effect game I played because the first game, I was always interested in playing that, but for whatever reason, I didn't play it until after I ended up playing this third installment. You know, this is not a bad game at all. Like, after 50 plus hours of learning about the story, the characters, it's just that ending was pretty weak, to be honest. Now, when it comes to the gameplay mechanics, this one actually has some great things to it, such as the weapons, armor system is much improved over Mass Effect 2, or even inventory system, which was a complete nightmare in Mass Effect 1. And especially when it comes to the combat system, I thought it was much improved considering that Mass Effect 2 had some cover issues that I had issue with. Another thing I wanted to point out is that the graphics look absolutely amazing for a game that came out over a decade ago, and it actually still holds up to this day. When it comes down to it, despite the weak ending to this trilogy, this is still such an outstanding game, and this is also one of my favorite video games from the Xbox 360. Now, personally, what do I think about the controversial ending? I don't hate it. I mean, it's alright. You get 3 options: either control the Reapers, destroy them, or I guess, Shepard, he takes his life force and merges with I don't know, that third ending is a little bit confusing, to be honest. And it actually contradicts the lore of the first 2 games. I'm like, what? What is this garbage? Like, I say it's garbage because writing wise, it just don't make any sense in terms of this long, trilogy. Like, the first 2 games, yeah, they're classics. This one is still great. Like, I still hold it in high regard. Definitely, it's a Mass Effect game that has some interesting, gameplay mechanics. It's still the Paragon and Renegade options, but they're not as fast as they used to be. I remember in Mass Effect 1, every choice had a serious decision. And here, it kind of seems it's scary about. You can only choose at certain points. And I was like, wait, what happened to the choices I can make every decision? Anyway, though, this game, it still is a lot of fun. Shepard can develop relationships. He can get his crew to trust him or not. And definitely, there are some subplots that I thought was real intriguing. But still, this is a very interesting game, even more than a decade later. I actually did replay it a few months ago. I was like, hey, this game is still good. Overall, when it comes down to it, this is still such an enjoyable experience. And despite that controversial ending, this is still a must-have for any Mass Effect fan out there. I'm giving this video game a 9 out of 10. The music is great, the story is very good, and this one provides hours upon hours of entertainment. Now, there are some emotional moments all throughout this video game, and this one stays with you long after it's over. Other than that awful ending, where I really had issue with those 3 choices, the legacy of this one speaks for itself, and it's still being talked about even more than a decade later. And that is my review of Mass Effect 3. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this video game. Now, my review of Mass Effect Andromeda will be happening one day, but it won't be anytime soon because I have to play through that game and learn about the whole story of that one. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.